Welcome back. Today marks 3 months of the tragic crash of Air India flight AI-171 in Ahmedabad that claimed 260 lives. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau blamed the movement of the fuel control switches from run to cut off during the takeoff to have caused the aircraft to crash. While the final report is still awaited, the preliminary findings have triggered a debate over whether the switches were deliberately moved or was it a system error. So where do things stand in terms of compensation that was promised by Air India? My colleague Madeeha joins in with the latest. Madeeha.
Air India says that interim compensation has been released to the families of 207 of the 229 deceased passengers as well as the 19 victims on the ground so far. Remaining families are yet to submit their documents required for the claim. The delay could be due to differences within the family on the distribution of compensation. We have spoken to some families where all the deceased have not received the compensation of 25 lakh rupees due to such differences among family members. The Tata Group, which owns Air India, had separately announced 1 crore rupees compensation to be disbursed through a dedicated trust. In August, the group formally registered the AI-171 Memorial and Welfare Trust. However, no disbursement has begun yet from this trust. Meanwhile, American law firm Beasley Allen says it is representing over 100 families of the crash victims. The firm is preparing a lawsuit against Boeing. They have filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the US Federal Aviation Administration to obtain data from the aircraft's flight data recorder. According to Beasley Allen, Indian authorities have already shared this data with the FAA, and the lawsuit against Boeing will depend heavily on the evidence found in this data. Now, Beasley Allen also indicated that some families are preparing to file cases in the UK under the Montreal Convention, which governs airline liability in international air travel. Now, families will likely file individual cases within the next 4 weeks in the UK courts with Beasley Allen as their legal representative. However, not all families will qualify to claim compensation under the Montreal Convention. Families must demonstrate that the ticket was booked in the UK, the ticket was paid for in the UK, the deceased was a UK citizen or had clear intent to stay in the UK for the long term. Having a one-way ticket to the UK strengthens the claim as it suggests the intent of the deceased to stay for a longer period. The compensation amounts will differ family by family depending on individual cases and circumstances. Now, victims killed on the ground because of the crash and the 12 Air India crew members are not eligible under the Montreal Convention claims. So that is the update on the AI-17 crash so far.
Well, Madeeha, thank